McCarthy's shrieking denunciations and fear-mongering have created a climate of fear and suspicion across the country, raising the question in households across the nation, who are the un-American Americans amongst us?
Any man who has been named by either a senator of a committee or a congressman is dangerous to the welfare of this nation.
President Eisenhower refuses to engage directly with McCarthy. In a letter to his brother, however, Eisenhower explains, as for McCarthy, only a short-sighted or completely inexperienced individual would urge the use of the office of the presidency to give an opponent the publicity he so avidly desires. Time and time again, without apology or evasion, I and many members of this administration have stood for the right of the individual free expression of conviction.
Wouldn't want to do that. There are so many better ways to die.
Use of our libraries,
Please turn off that noise.
as dictated by common decency.
Thank you. Is everything ready?
Oui.
Good. Cook.
You called, sir.
Is everything on schedule?
Dinner will be ready at 7:30. Sharp.
Ah, right on time. You have your instructions?
Oui.
Very well then. Let the game begin. Good evening.
Good evening. I'm not sure if I'm in the
Oh,
right.
yes, indeed. You're expected, Colonel.
How did you know?
It is Colonel Mustard, isn't it?
No, that's not my name. My name is Colonel.
Oh, I believe tonight it is recommended that you use a pseudonym.
Oh, no, thanks. I took an antihistamine before I came.
May I take your coat?
Oh, all right. I suppose I...
Not to worry, Colonel. It was just the maid in the hole with the champagne cork.
Champagne?
Don't mind if I do.
This way, monsieur.
Oh, thank you. Are you expecting someone else?
Yes, indeed. I'll be with you in a moment.
Follow me, Colonel.
With pleasure, my dear.
Do come in, madame. You are expected. Welcome.
Do you know who I am?
Only that you are a socialite, to be known this evening as Mrs. White.
Yes. It said so in my letter, but why?
May I introduce you? This is the maid, Yvette. I see you two know each other.
We've never met. Champagne? I think not.
Please, warm yourself in the lounge.
Why? Do I look cold?
A bit.
Oh. Hello.
Hello. Pleased to meet you.
I'm rarely pleased to meet anyone. More?
Oh, yes. Mrs. Peacock, I presume.
Who? Oh, yes, that's me. Champagne? My lips belong to the Lord.
Cook, will you please take Mrs. Peacock's stole? I see you two know each other.
Don't be ridiculous. I've never seen this woman before in my life.
Please make yourself comfortable in the lounge.
Thank you. Oh. For your hospitality, there's a couple of Benjamins hidden under the caramels for you, butler.
How sticky.
Well, I just expect the best of the best.
Hold that thought. Right this way, Mrs. Peacock, after you.
Oh, look at this molding. It's quite a magnificent... Ah! Who are you? Welcome to the party.
This is turning out to be quite the crowd.
Is this the right address to meet a Mr. Body?
Sit! No, not you, sir. Please, come in.
Sorry. I suppose this letter has me rather anxious.
You must be Mr. Green.
Yes, that is exactly who I am.
Welcome, sir.
Wow. This isn't at all what I expected.
I find if you expect nothing, you're never disappointed.
Oh, I'm not disappointed.
Pardon me, sir. I'll be with you in a moment.
Please arrive at 7:30 sharp on Saturday evening. Well, here I am.
Professor Plum.
If you say so.
Well. And I thought I'd seen everything.
Miss Scarlet, I didn't realize you and the professor were acquainted.
We're not. The bridge is washed out from the rain. My car broke down, and this professor offered to give me a ride. I didn't realize we were headed to the same place until we arrived.
How was your drive?
Well, it's a long haul.
Indeed, it is a long haul, but then again, it is a very large house. Oh, please, make yourself comfortable in the lounge.
Say, what is this godforsaken place anyway?
Oh, this old place. This is Body Manor. Cook, dinner,
Directly.
appetizers in the lounge, after you.
Hors d'oeuvres. Good, I'm starving.
Funny, I haven't much of an appetite at all.
My, this really is a party.
Oh, greetings, all. It's a pleasure for you to see me. Ooh, cocktail hour.
There's so many of you. I didn't realize.
Right then, you're all here. Mrs. Peacock?
How'd you do?
Colonel Mustard.
Present.
Mrs. White?
Yes.
Miss Scarlet? Mr. Green?
That's me.
Professor Plum?
Right.
Greetings all, I am Wadsworth, the butler. Tonight, as you may have surmised, nobody is being addressed by their real name. A courtesy your host has provided you to ensure your privacy. I suggest you follow his lead and refrain from revealing too much about yourselves this evening. You never know when... dinner.
Dinner? Well, that was more like a cocktail minute.
Mr. Wadsworth, you were saying you never know when. What?
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 To the dining room. We really oughtn't keep the cook waiting. She can get cranky. This way, ladies and gentlemen.
That's my
You'll
seat.
find
Thank
your
you.
names beside your places. Please be seated.
Thank you.
Oh, this place at the head of the table, is that for you?
Oh, indeed, no, sir. I'm merely a humble butler.
What exactly do you do?
I buttle, sir.
Dinner is served.
Thank you, cook.
All right then. What's this all about, Butler? This dinner party?
Ours not to reason why, ours but to do and die.
Die?
Merely quoting, sir, from Alfred, Lord Tennyson.
I prefer Kipling myself. Do you like Kipling, Colonel?
Sure. I'll eat about anything. So, where's our host? Is this where he sits?
All in good time, sir.
What's that smell? It's something familiar. Jacques Fin soup. My favorite!
I know.
Bon appetit! Ooh, this is delicious! Ooh, yum, 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 yum! Well, I guess I'll break the ice. I mean, I'll be the one to get the ball rolling. I used to be a hostess as an integral part to my life, being the wife of... Oh, I forgot we're not supposed to say who we really are. But, I have no idea what we're doing here, and, I'm very intrigued, and oh my, the soup is delicious, isn't it?
I know who you are.
You do?
I work in Washington.
Washington? So you must be a politician's wife, Mrs. Peacock.
Yes, I am.
Who's your husband? Maybe I know him.
Well, Mrs. White, you've been awfully quiet. What does your husband do?
Nothing?
Nothing?
Well, he just lies around on his back all day.
How lazy!
Not necessarily.
Sorry, I'm a little accident prone.
That'll be $5, mister.
Sorry?
Mr. Green, what do you do in Washington?
Oh, I'd rather not say. I like to follow the rules.
Well, if I wasn't trying to keep this conversation going, we would all be sitting here in embarrassed silence.
Are you afraid of silence, Mrs. Peacock?
Yes? No. Why?
In my professional opinion, it seems that you suffer from what we call pressure of speech.
Is that an official diagnosis?
Are you a doctor, Professor?
In psychological medicine,
Do you practice?
not anymore. I currently work for the government.
Ah, another politician?
Not necessarily. I do research for you-know-who.
Who?
A branch of the United Nations organization, the World Health Organization.
Ah, you know who? It's an acronym.
I have a sister who was a gymnast.
You are a real colonel, aren't you?
I am, sir.
Aren't you gonna mention the coincidence that you also live in Washington, D.C., Colonel?
How did you know that?
Oh, I've seen you before.
Miss Scarlett, does that mean that you live in Washington as well?
Sure do.
Does anyone here not live in Washington?
Oh, is this about the Red Scare then?
I'm not a communist, I'm a Republican.
Wadsworth, we've had about enough of this. Who is our host, and why have we been brought here?
Ah, speak of the devil. Pardon me, please.
Hey, I've got an idea.
Oh, yes, good thinking, Miss Scarlett.
What are we doing?
The acoustic coupling between the door and the glass allows sound waves to travel from one end to the other.
All the guests have arrived as expected, sir. Everything's going according to plan. We'll meet you in the study.
Wallpaper.
Oh, please! Who was at the door? I demand to know what's going on!
Can I interest any of you in fruit or dessert?
No!
Then might I suggest that we adjourn to the study, at which point our newly arrived host will reveal his intentions, your letters will be explained, and the game will be afoot.
Coffee? Bronte?
Thank you, Yvette. That will be all.
Oui, monsieur. Where's our host? He's not here. Nobody's here. What is happening?
Cigarette? It'll calm your nerves.
I don't smoke.
For Wadsworth. Open after dinner. It's for you.
Right then. Are you all comfortable?
I make a good living.
Oh, out with it, Wadsworth.
Ladies and gentlemen, these instructions are clear.
I'm glad something is.
It seems the 6 of you have all received the same letter. It will be to your advantage to arrive on this date because a Mr. Body will bring to end a certain long-standing, painful, and confidential financial liability.
Of course, yes, that's
Yes,
It
exactly what
seems you
says.
all do have one thing in common.
That tyrant McCarthy, we're all being blacklisted, aren't we?
Close, Colonel. You're all being blackmailed. For some considerable time, all of you have been paying more than you can afford to someone who threatens to expose you.
Oh, please. What's someone gonna blackmail me for? I go to church every Sunday.
Yeah, lady, don't we all?
Anybody else wish to deny it? Until you'd arrived this evening, you hadn't known who'd sent your letter. But now I'm sure that even the least discerning amongst you has determined that the man behind your ransom is Mr. Body himself.
And who are you,
Yeah,
Mr.
tell me
Potentially
about that.
Brutish Butler?
Who is this body fella, you brutish butler?
Who Mr. Body is no concern of yours. Suffice it to say, he's a member of the House Un-American Activities Committee, and he feels that your activities have been decidedly un-American. My plan this evening is to expose your secrets, rendering you all culpable in each other's indiscretions.
But we hardly know each other.
Precisely.
Don't you think you might spare us this humiliation?
I'm afraid I have no choice. We'll start with you, Professor Plum.
Ooh, this ought to be good.
It says here you're a professor of psychiatry, specializing in pathological, lying lunatics suffering from delusions of grandeur.
Yes, but now I work for the U.S. government.
So your work has not changed. But you can't practice medicine anymore, can you? Your license has been lifted, correct?
Why? What'd he do?
Well, you know how male doctors aren't supposed to date their lady patients?
Yeah?
Yes, well, he did.
How awful! Someday there's going to be a reckoning for men like you.
I hope so.
Me too.
You're disgusting.
Are you making moral judgments, Mrs. Peacock?
Well,
How then do you justify taking bribes in exchange for delivering Senator Peacock's votes to certain lobbyists?
My husband is a paid consultant. There is nothing sinful about that.
Not if it's publicly declared, but if you slip cash under the stall door at Old Ebbitt's Grill, how would you describe that transaction?
I'd say it stinks.
When were you in that men's bathroom?
So it's true.
No, it's a vicious lie.
But you've been paying the blackmailer for over a year to keep that story out of the papers. Seems a little sticky, no?
Well, you see
Well,
here.
I'm willing to believe you. I, too, am being blackmailed for something I didn't do.
So am I.
Not me.
You're not being blackmailed?
Oh, I'm being blackmailed, all right, but I did what I'm being blackmailed for.
Well, what did you do?
I run a non-governmental agency that handles classified affairs.
Affairs in Washington?
Is that how you knew the Colonel worked in Washington? Is he one of your clients?
Certainly not.
I was asking Miss Scarlett.
Well, you tell him it's not true.
It's not true.
Is that true?
No, it's not true.
Aha, so it is true.
A double negative.
Double negative? You mean you have photographs?
That sounds like a confession to me. In fact, a double negative has led to proof positive. I'm afraid you gave yourself away, Colonel.
Are you trying to make me look stupid in front of the other guests?
You need no help from me, sir. Colonel, you hold a sensitive security post in the Pentagon. Surely those photographs would compromise your position.
And what position exactly were you caught in, Colonel?
This is an outrage!
Let's see, who's next? Mrs. White, you've been paying our friend the blackmailer ever since your husband died under, shall we say, mysterious circumstances.
Say what you want, I didn't kill him.
Then why are you paying the blackmail?
I don't want another scandal, do I?
Another?
We had a very humiliating confrontation. He had threatened to kill me in public.
Why would he want to kill you in public?
Oh, I believe he had threatened in public to kill her.
Oh. It was all over the papers.
And yet he was the one who died, not you, Mrs. White, not you.
He was found dead at home, unclothed. His head had been cut off and so had his... But I didn't do it. I'd been out all evening, at the movies.
What was showing?
The naked alibi.
A likely story.
But he was your second husband. Your first husband also died.
Well, that was his job. He was an illusionist.
Yes, but he never reappeared.
He wasn't a very good illusionist.
Lastly, there's you. Mr. Green, who is it?
I don't need you to unmask me, Wadsworth. I know what you're going to say about me. Mr. Green, who is a little fruity?
Not me!
Pardon.
Well, you said, who is a little fruity? And I said, not me!
Yes, thank you, Colonel. But there's more to it than that, Mr. Green. There's evidence to support the question of your politics.
My politics, since when is working for the Republican Party a crime?
You swore an oath of allegiance to the Republican Party and neglected to vote for Eisenhower in the last election. That's grounds for an ousting if ever there was one.
But voting records are confidential.
Everything has a price, Mr. Green.
So, there you have it.
Have what?
A crooked senator's wife, a lascivious doctor, and a disloyal Republican. Not exactly adhering to an all-American standard of behavior, are we?
Depends on who you ask.
Well, if this body fella's such a noble civilian himself, then why doesn't he turn us into the police?
Miss the chance to make a buck? Come now, Professor, what could be more American than that?
Apple pie.
All right, Wadsworth, so we're all being blackmailed by a renegade McCarthyist. Where does that leave us?
Where is this Mr. Body?
And what does he want from us?
Who cares? I'm not waiting to find out. I've done nothing wrong. I'm leaving.
Oh, I'm afraid that won't be possible. You can stay and deny it all you'd like, but you cannot leave this house.
I'm a wife of a great senator, and you can't tell me what to do. Locked?
Yes, indeed. The doors are locked. The windows are barred, and the grounds are patrolled by vicious dogs. There's no way out.
You can't
You can do this at least.
Please,
Ladies and
here.
gentlemen, may I introduce you to our host for the evening, your blackmailer for life, Mr. Body. How do you do? I thought
this was confrontation. Mrs. White in the study with her knee.
Thank you. I've studied martial arts.
There's one more piece of information you might like to know. The police will arrive in less than an hour.
The police?
Unless
Unless what?
you agreed to double down.
And why would we agree to that?
Because if you don't, I'll put this briefcase containing all the evidence needed to expose your wrongdoings in the hands of the police, the press, and the House Un-American Committee. With the right spin, those fellows can make a commie out of anyone. I think some of you would face a lifetime of jail, and others a lifetime of shame.
Well, you can do that. It's illegal.
Unless
what?
what? Well, there is something you could do for me that would change the game. Something I just can't bear to do myself.
What?
Have a seat, please.
Is it all right? Yeah. Sorry.
What's this about, sir?
In this bag, there are 6 packages that I thought our guests might find useful this evening.
Packages.
Presents, if you will. I'm a generous sort of fellow.
Are you?
Wadsworth, would you please see to it that each guest receives a gift?
Gladly.
Anyone want to make a guess as to what's in your packages?
Perfume?
Candy?
A single malt Scotch whiskey.
Huh. Aren't guessing games fun? Please. Open them.
Candlestick? What's this for?
A wrench.
A lead pipe.
A dagger?
A revolver.
Oh, a snake! Oh, no, it's a rope.
In your hands, you each hold a lethal weapon. You all came tonight because you thought the evidence against you was so terrible, you would do anything to keep it a secret. I'm putting that theory to the test.
You are.
Mr. Wadsworth here is the only other person who knows your secrets, and it's costing us all dearly to keep him quiet.
What do you mean?
I wouldn't have to double your payments if I didn't have to pay Wadsworth for his silence.
Wadsworth?
Why? That's a lie.
He may look suave and charming,
Thank you.
but really he's conniving and manipulative.
False.
Why do you think he's called the police?
You called the police?
Only because he instructed me to do so.
Huh, did I? Ladies and gentlemen, if you can manage to get rid of Mr. Wadsworth, I'll see no need to increase your blackmail or turn you into the police.
Get rid of?
Does he mean kill him?
In fact, if you can eliminate Wadsworth,
Yes, I think that's what he means.
who not only knows all of your secrets, but also mine, then I will eliminate your blackmail altogether and be done with this terrible business once and for all.
You would never.
But why don't you do your dirty work yourself, Body?
Yeah. Why should I? When the 6 of you are so uniquely motivated.
What a patriot.
After all I've done for you. He's a liar. I'm one of you. I'm not a butler. I'm an indentured servant.
A familiar refrain. Don't make a scene, Wadsworth. It's over. The police are on their way. Now's your chance. The only way to avoid finding yourselves on the front pages and eliminating your blackmail is for one of you to kill Wadsworth now!
Oh, it's Mr. Body!
Oh, thank goodness.
Is he breathing?
Stand back. I'm a doctor. He's dead. Oh.
Who had the gun?
I did.
So you shot him?
I didn't.
If you didn't, then who did?
I don't know. Somebody grabbed it from my hand, and the next thing I know, it went off. There's no gunshot wound.
He's right, there isn't.
There's a bullet lodged here.
Eagle Eye, Miss Scarlet.
If the bullet's lodged over there, then how did he die over here?
I don't know. I'm not a forensics expert.
Well, something else must have killed him.
One of us must have killed him.
Well, don't look at me. I didn't do it.
I need a drink.
Maybe Mr. Body was poisoned by the brandy.
Poison!
It's okay, Miss Peacock. It's okay. Just sit down. Sit down. Take a few.
Well, someone had to stop her screaming.
Was the brandy poison?
How should I know?
Looks like now we'll never know.
Unless she dies too.
Those screams are coming from the billiard room. Oh, it's locked. Who's in there? Who's screaming?
C'est moi!
Yvette, are you all right?
No!
Yvette, are you alive?
Of course I need life, you idiot! No thanks to you, Wadsworth. I'm locked up in this house with a murderer!
So, the murderer is here.
Oui.
Where?
Where? Here. We are looking at him.
What took you so long?
I'm a matronly woman who may or may not have been poisoned. It is amazing I am anywhere. I heard you on the study. One of you is the killer.
How could you hear us in the study?
I was listening. I have a tape recorder in the billiard room connected to the study. Monsieur Body asked me to record your conversation.
Why would he ask you to do that?
For more evidence, of course. Wadsworth revealed all your secrets in the study, and now they are recorded.
What a snake. I've got to destroy them. Where are the tapes?
Who cares about the tapes? What about the body?
What body?
Body's body!
But Yvette, why were you screaming in there all by yourself?
Because I was frightened. I also drank the cognac. Maybe I am poisoned too. Plus, one of you is the killer, and Monsieur Body is dead!
Yvette, we have to figure out which one of them did it.
What do you mean, which one of them?
Well, I didn't do it.
Well, I didn't do it either. I would have, but I didn't have access to a weapon.
Don't look at me. All I got was a candlestick.
Maybe it wasn't one of us.
Who else could it have been?
Who else is in the house?
Only the cook.
The cook!
Well, as far as I can tell, the cook's not here.
What a lovely kitchen. My husband and I had one very similar in our first brownstone. It has such a homey feel, doesn't it?
It's the cook with a dagger in her back.
Someone must have killed her.
I didn't do it!
This makes two. To what murders?
I think you better explain yourself, Wadsworth.
Me?
Well, who else would want to kill the cook?
Dinner wasn't that bad.
How can you make jokes at a time like this?
It's my defense mechanism.
Some defense. If I was the killer, I'd kill you next. I said if. There's only one admitted killer here, and it's not me. It's Mrs. White.
I've admitted nothing.
You've been paying the blackmail. How many husbands have you had?
Mine.
Yours.
5.
5?
Yes, just the 5. Husband should be like Kleenex, soft, strong, and disposable.
Well, if you didn't do it, who did? Who had the dagger?
It was Mrs. Peacock.
I did, but I put it down.
Where?
In the study. Any one of us could have picked it up.
Well, I didn't. I don't like things.
Well, then it must have been Mr. Green.
Can somebody help me?
Oh, good Lord, let him up. You really ought to learn to speak up for yourself better, Mr. Green.
Oh, my lord, oh, my lord.
Gentlemen, might I suggest that we take the cook's body into the study?
Why?
Well, for starters, when the police arrive, if they find this, well, I'll be in custody and under suspicion for murder. And second, I'm the butler. I like to keep the kitchen tidy.
The body's gone!
What are you all staring at?
Nobody!
What do you mean?
Nobody, Mr. Body's body, it's gone.
Maybe he wasn't really dead.
Oh, he was!
We should have made sure.
I thought I had.
So was he dead or wasn't he?
Maybe he was dead, but somebody moved him?
Who would move him?
And why?
How should I know? Well, if he's not here, then. Well, where is he?
Oh my, all this excitement. If you excuse me, is there a little girl's room?
Oui, madame.
No, I just want to powder my nose.
There's a toilet outside the billiard room.
I don't mean to alarm anyone, but we do currently have the small issue of 2 dead bodies, 1 missing, 1 present, and the imminent arrival of the police.
The bridge is washed out. That should buy us some extra time.
No, I don't want extra time. I want the police to arrive. I am trapped in this house with some murderer.
But once the police arrive, the rest of us are doomed.
Wadsworth, am I correct in thinking that there is nobody else in this house?
No.
Then there is someone else in this house.
Sorry, I said no meaning yes.
No, meaning yes.
Yes.
Look, give me a straight answer.
Don't look at me.
Wadsworth, is there someone else in this house? Yes or no?
No.
No, there isn't, or no, there is?
Yes.
There seems to be some sort of confusion to whether or not we're the only people in this house.
There isn't?
There isn't any confusion, or there isn't anybody else?
Either? Both?
Just give me a clear answer.
What was the question?
Is there anybody else in this house?
No!
That's what he says, but does he know?
Look, we've got a killer on the loose, the missing dead body of Mr. Body, a cook with a dagger in her back, and this room full of easily accessible weapons. The rope, the revolver, the wrench, the candlestick, and... Hey, where's the lead pipe?
It's Mr. Body! He's attacking her! Oh, he's so bloody! Stand back! He's dead.
That's what you said the last time.
I believe in second chances. Mr. Body, dead again.
I'm gonna faint.
I'll catch you. Sorry.
Mrs. Peacock,
Yes.
where did this happen?
In the bathroom. I opened the door and there he was. At first I thought he was attacking me, but then I realized he had been left propped up against the door frame, dead, just waiting to fall on someone.
Who would do such a thing?
It takes a lot of guts to kill someone twice.
It's what we call overkill.
But why?
What's the difference?
That makes a difference to him.
Makes a difference to us. We've got to find out who killed him, where, and with what.
Seems like it was probably the lead pipe.
10 points, Professor Plum.
What game are you playing, Wadsworth?
This isn't a game.
The lead pipe belonged to you.
But I dropped it on my way to the kitchen.
People don't just drop murder weapons.
Well, I didn't know it was a murder weapon when I dropped it.
So anyone could have picked it up?
But who did? Who did pick up the lead pipe? Who picked up the lead pipe and brutally murdered Mr. Body, leaving him dead and bloodied in the bathroom? Who did that? Who?
Cool it, Butler. While you lose your marbles, I'm over here trying to do something useful. Have you all forgotten about the evidence against us?
The evidence!
Body's briefcase is locked.
There must be a key.
Mr. Green, would you be so kind as to check Mr. Body's pockets for the key to the briefcase containing the evidence of our crime so that we may destroy it once and for all?
Why me?
Why not?
All right.
Where'd you get that?
I don't like germs.
Or fingerprints?
No, mostly germs. Here goes nothing. Oh, it's so warm. Okay. There we go. Got
Give it here. It's empty.
Empty? I told you Mr. Body was a liar. Had the evidence in his briefcase, my foot.
We must find the evidence.
And destroy it.
Evidence against us aside, first things first. We're in a room with 2 dead bodies.
And the cops on the way.
Let's move the corpses to the couch so they look less dead.
Some party this is turning out to be.
Help me, Monsieur Green.
All right.
Careful, don't get guts on the ground.
Solid battlefield technique, Professor Plum. Never leave a man behind.
Cadavers are heavier than they seem, aren't they?
I wouldn't know.
Right, me neither. Prop her up.
Upsy daisy.
Aren't you strong and virile?
Good, they just look asleep.
Forget about the bodies. We need to do something about this room full of murder weapons and the homicidal maniac on the loose.
I have an idea. We'll put the weapons in the bag.
What good would that do?
Then we'll tie up the bag.
Most murderers know how to untie a bag, Mr. Wadsworth.
Yes, I know. Then we'll put the bag in the safe.
Terrific. Where's the safe?
In the hole.
I don't see a safe.
Was that an original Trumbull, Mr. Wadsworth?
Those are quite valuable.
Now is not time for art appreciation. Butler,
Ooh, a hidden safe behind a portrait. How original.
There, locked.
Voila!
What are you going to do with the key to the safe, Wadsworth?
The key.
I have an idea. I'll put the key in my pocket.
but what if you're the murderer?
I'm not.
But what if you are?
I have an idea. We'll throw the key outside.
À la exterior.
But it's raining a la exterior.
I'm not suggesting that we go outside. I'm saying that we stay inside, but throw the key away.
But you'd have to open the door, wouldn't you?
I would.
And what if the killer is outside?
Better out than in.
Yes, we'd want to keep him outside, wouldn't we? If we open the door, we risk letting him back in.
But maybe if we open the door, it would encourage the killer to go out?
The killer seems to be doing a fine job of opening and closing doors all by himself. I don't see how us opening the door for one tiny second could possibly make any sort of a difference.
But what if we open the door, throw away the key, and the killer catches it? Then the killer would have the key we're trying to confiscate.
We might be overthinking this. I'm going to throw away the key. Follow me.
Was that the killer?
He didn't look like a killer.
Takes one to know one.
Leave him to me. Interrogation is my specialty. Good evening.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disturb the entire household, but my car broke down outside and I was wondering if I could use your phone.
No.
Are you a killer?
What? No.
All right, this way, please.
Hold on, I don't think that's the...
Well, where is it?
What? The body?
No, the phone. Wait, what body?
There's no body. There's nobody. There's nobody.
Right, there's nobody in the study.
That phone's been disconnected. There's one in the lounge you may use. This way.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. Now listen, we haven't much time. Our task is twofold. 1, find the evidence. 2, find the murderer.
We have one potential suspect contained in the lounge, but that leaves the whole rest of this place up for grabs. Who knows what's behind all these doors?
I say we handle this in proper military fashion. We split up and search the house.
Split up?
Yes, we'll split up into pairs. That way, none of us will be alone.
But whichever one of us is paired with the killer might get killed.
But then we would know who the killer is.
But the other half of the pair would be dead.
This is war, Peacock. Casualties are inevitable. You cannot make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. Every cook will tell you that.
But look what happened to the cook.
Colonel, are you willing to take that chance?
What choice do we have?
None.
All right.
All right, troops. Divide and conquer. I'll split us up into pairs. Eeny, meeny, miny...
No, Mrs. White, you're with me. Professor Plum, you go with Mrs. Peacock. Yvette, you're with Mr. Green. And Miss Scarlet, you're with Eeny, meeny. Now, cherish your partners and leave no door unopened. Your partner may be the last person you ever see.
I'll be right behind you.
Yes, that's why I'm nervous.
But why? It's just us. We're alone.
That's just it, Mrs. White. No man in his right mind would ever be alone with you.
Fine. You go in there, I'll go in here. Are you going in?
Yes, are you?
Yes.
On the count of 3. 1, 3.
Nothing in that room.
Nothing in that room either.
Shall we search the ballroom?
After you.
Oh, what a magnificent library.
How am I supposed to find anything if I don't know what I'm looking for?
Civilized society is perpetually menaced with disintegration through this primary hostility of men towards one another.
Your fancy words don't intimidate me, Professor.
I take no credit, Mrs. Peacock. Freud, I think he's onto something.
Now is not time for academic pursuits. We are supposed to be finding the evidence.
It's a fruitless search, if you ask me. I mean, it's not like we're going to walk into a room and find the evidence hiding in a book.
I suppose you're right.
Come on, let's check upstairs.
Lead the way.
Hello? Hello? Yes, yeah. I'm a little nervous. I'm at that big house on the hill and I've been locked in the lounge. I didn't expect there to be a whole group of people here, but I think they're having some sort of party. Anyways, the funny thing is, I think one of them is my customer. Yes. The regular Tuesday night passenger.
Oh, there you are.
You'll never believe what I found in the library. Professor Plum's stupid tobacco pipe.
What do you think it means?
Who knows, but it seems suspicious if you ask me.
I just did.
Honestly, Colonel, this is the last room left to search in this beastly mansion, and we still haven't found the evidence.
I think this time has been productive, nevertheless.
Aren't you a Pollyanna?
I mean, really, murders aside, this has just been a lovely group of people all in all. I guess I would like to hear Mrs. White explain when and how she lost her veil in the billiard room, but...
You found White's veil in the billiard room? Odd.
Odd?
Odd. Hey, a trap door. A trap door leading to a secret passage. Come on.
Ladies first, Miss Scarlet.
How heroic.
Where are we now?
How should I know? The lights are off.
Well, turn them back on.
I would if I could see anything.
I'm going to feel my way around.
Well, don't get any funny ideas.
A chair?
A telephone?
A table?
A body?
A body?
Ah! Find the door! Get us out! Get us out!
Let us in!
Let us out! Let us out!
We can't let you out. The door to the lounge is locked.
You have a key, Wadsworth. You locked a motorist in here.
That's right, I did. I do. I don't. The keys are gone.
I have an idea.
There's a killer on the loose. Please let us out of here.
There's no alternative. I'm just going to have to break down the door. Stand back. I'm a doctor.
Stonebuck! I'm a woman!
Can somebody help me? What was that noise?
I will help you. You can come out now. The door is open. I am done shooting at you.
Why were you shooting at us?
To open the door.
Could have killed us.
I said Stonebuck.
Let's add finding the keys to the lounge to our priority list.
Say, Frenchie, where'd you get that gun anyway?
The safe, it was unlocked.
Unlocked? Oh, it's impossible. I have the key. No, I haven't. It's gone.
Not to beat a dead horse, but I feel like having all the keys is
I
really...
thought you said you throw away the key to the safe, Wadsworth.
Yes, I said that, but I didn't do that. I got distracted by the motorist at the door and I forgot. One of you must have snatched the keys from my pocket when we were searching the house.
So whoever took the keys is the killer.
Precisely.
Speaking of the killer, there's a dead body in the lounge, you know. The motorist is dead.
Which one of you two killed him?
We found him together.
And he was already dead.
But the door to the lounge was locked.
We went through a secret passage in the conservatory.
A secret passage? Who designed this place?
The Parker brothers. gun! Don't worry, it's not the police.
It's the police.
I'm gonna open the door.
No! It's the polite thing to do.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, officer. We've been expecting you.
You have?
We haven't?
I got a tip about an abandoned car near the gates of this house. Did a motorist stop by for help by any chance?
No!
Yes. There seems to be some sort of a disagreement. At any rate, can I come in and use the phone?
No! Absolutely. You can use the phone in the lounge. I mean, you can use the phone in the study.
Occupied. Oh, there's one in the library you may use. Right this way, please.
You're all acting rather peculiar.
Oh, it's because our chandelier fell down.
Yes.
It could have killed us, but not to worry. The maid will clean it up. This way.
What's going on in that lounge and study?
Oh, lounging, studying. This way.
Let me have a look.
No, thank you.
What?
This way.
Actually, I'd like to take a look around if you don't mind.
Oh, of course, officer. I'll give you the grand tour of Body Manor. This place was built in 1784 by Lord Reginald Body.
We've got to cover our tracks and get rid of this guy.
Lord Body was declared Lord Body after some body discovered an antibody that would cure everybody. Notice the mahogany floor. Did you know that in the 17th century, the buccaneer John of Squemeling noted the use of mahogany in making canoes? Can you canoe?
What? Hey, where'd everybody go?
Notice the brass doorknobs crafted specifically for Lord Body by his buddy in 1878.
Hey, mister, I don't care about the doorknobs. What's going on around here, and what are you hiding in those two rooms?
Oh, which two rooms?
The lounge and the study.
Yes, those two rooms, of course. No, officer, I don't think you could go in there.
Why not?
Because it's all too shocking.
Excuse me.
You are excused!
Pardon me.
Good night, officer!
That wasn't all that shocking, mister. Those folks were just trying to have a good time. Why didn't you tell me that this was a party?
My apologies, sir.
Actually, I'll just take a peek in the lounge if you don't mind. Excuse me?
Good evening, officer. How do you do?
Are these men drunk?
Dead drunk.
You want a sip?
Sorry, I can't drink while on the job. The chief would kill me.
Killed if you do, killed if you don't.
What?
Have a lovely evening, officer.
Same to you. Well,
Officer, I can explain everything.
what? No explanation is necessary. There's nothing illegal about any of this.
There's not?
Of course not. This is America, and that was the pursuit of happiness. May I use your phone now?
Certainly.
Thank you.
You can all come out now. Well done, all of you.
Well done.
Now, I've locked him in the library.
How'd you do that? I thought you didn't have the keys.
My right pocket keys were missing, but my left pocket keys were intact. Now, we must finish searching the manor before the police arrive.
But the police already came.
Not the broken down car police, the criminal investigation police.
Precisely. Now, we must find the evidence, and we cannot afford to have any more murders. This is getting dangerous. Now go!
Hello? Hello? Power outage? Must be that storm. Wait, Chief? Yes, this is... Are you there? Do you hear me? Is this phone even working?
Hello? Who turns out tonight? Hello? Oh, it's only you. You scared me. I thought you was the killer. Oh, what is that in your hand? Oh, did you find the clue? Huh?
Did somebody cut the line? Hello?
Oh, good. You could hear me. You see, I found an abandoned car and wound up in an old mansion where all the lights just went out. I'm telling you, Chief, there's something funny going on around here. Yes, they were having some sort of a party, and you'll never believe who I just saw. Yeah.
Who turned out the lights? Let there be light!
Shh! Do you hear that?
Sounds like a telephone is off the hook.
It's coming from the library.
That's where the killer must be!
I'm going in.
Aren't you afraid?
Of course.
Of what? A fate worse than death?
No, just death. Excuse me, Mr. Cop. Are you all right? Do you need assistance? A phone book, perhaps?
Oh, listen, copper, the butler asked you a question. Now hang up the phone or I will.
We should be safe here in the billiard room.
I don't feel safe.
I can't relax.
Oh, how about a game of pool to pass the time?
I can.
3 murders in 3 minutes.
That's our best record.
3 murders.
6 altogether.
Mr. Body, the cook, the motorist, the cop, Yvette, and the singing telegram girl.
But who's the murderer?
Ain't that the $1 million question?
Sometimes the most obvious answer is right under our noses. I think the best course of action is to retrace our steps. It all started like this. At the beginning of the evening, there was thunder, lightning, the dogs barked. Then, ding dong, Colonel Mustard. Then, ding dong, Mrs. White, who noticed Yvette. Then, Mrs. Peacock, who noticed the cook. Then, Mr. Green. Sit! No, not you, sir. Please come in. Then, Miss Scarlet, Professor Plum. Then, gong! Ah, dinner. Well, that was more like a cocktail minute. To the dining room. Sac fin soup. Ooh, yummy, yum, yum, my favorite. Then Mr. Buddy arrived and we all went to the study. Coffee? Brandy? Say, who is this body fella butler? How do you do? Then Mr. Buddy asked me to hand out the packages. Here. Ah, it's a snake! No, it's a rope. Then Mr. Buddy switched off the lights. Now! Mr. Buddy was dead! Not really, he was alive, but we didn't know that. Then Mrs. Peacock drank his drink. Poison! Well, someone had to stop her screaming. And then we heard... The screams are coming from the billiard room! But Mrs. Peacock joined late. I'm a matronly woman who may or may not have been poisoned. Then Mrs. White asked who else was in the house, to which we all responded, the cook, who we found knifed in the back. Oh God, so gross, so many germs, so much blood. Will somebody please help me up? Then I suggested that we take the cook's body into the study, but Body's body was gone. Then Mrs. Peacock entered with body on her body because body had been bludgeoned in his beam. Then the briefcase, empty. Next the motorist arrived. Are you a killer? And I locked him in the lounge. Bunk, dead. Next the unexpected cop. You're all acting rather peculiar. Can you canoe? Bang, dead. Next the maid got strangled in the billiard room. And finally, da-da-da-da-da-da, I am bang. And that brings us all here.
Bravo!
Impressive, Wadsworth.
Yes, but what does it prove?
Nothing.
Well,
Enough of this. I know who the murderer is.
You do?
I do.
we're listening, Miss Scarlet. Who do you accuse?
It was Professor Plum in the hall with the revolver.
Liar!
We all heard the gun go off, Professor, and I found your stupid tobacco pipe here when we were searching the house for clues. When'd you drop it, huh? While scoping out your best vantage point to kill your next victim? I bet that poor singing telegram girl was an old patient of yours, right?
I've never seen that girl before in my life.
Well, the revolver is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever has the revolver is the murderer.
Well done, Wadsworth.
You can't prove anything if you're all dead.
Oh, that may be so, Professor Plum. But if we're alive, there's your man, officer.
Well done, Wadsworth.
That's what I said.
Yes, well, I'm saying it now. I am Handcuffs, Chief of Police. Professor Plum, you're coming with me.
That's not how it happened. It happened like this.
We're listening, Professor. Who do you accuse?
It was Colonel Mustard in the lounge with the wrench.
I never lounge!
I found your Medal of Honor in the lounge where the motorist was killed by a wrench to the head, and that wrench belongs to you.
Well, the wrench is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses. Whoever has the wrench is the murderer.
Well done, Wadsworth.
There's your man, Colonel. Not a kernel of truth in it.
Well done, Wadsworth.
That's what I said.
Yes, well, I'm saying it now. I am guilty verdict, Chief of Police. Colonel Mustard, you're coming with me.
That's not how it happened. It happened like this.
We're listening, Colonel. Who do you accuse?
It was Mrs. White in the billiard room with a rope.
I'd rather die.
I found your veil in the billiard room, and I saw how you cringed tonight when Yvette served you dinner.
Yes, it's true. I knew Yvette. She had a torrid love affair with my late husband. I hated her. I hated her so much. It the flames from the side of my face, breathing, heaving breaths. But just because I hated her doesn't mean I killed her.
Well, the rope is missing. Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your...
Well done,
Well done,
Wadsworth.
Wadsworth.
That's what I said.
Yes, well, I'm saying it now. I am, mark my words, Chief of Police, Mrs. White.
It happened like this.
Mrs. White, who do you accuse?
It was Mrs. Peacock in the kitchen with the dagger. I found your feather by the corpse.
Gentlemen, turn out your pockets. Ladies, empty your purses.
Well done, Wadsworth. That's what I said. Yes, well, I'm saying it now.
I am Barry D. Hackett,
Chief of Police.
But that's not how it happened.
It happened like this.
Mrs. Peacock, who do you accuse?
It was Miss Scarlet in the library with the candlestick.
I'm Maximum, Chief of Police.
You can't do this to me.
Frankly, Miss Scarlet, I don't give a damn. It really happened like this. I know the murderer is.
You do?
All of you. Hands in the air. You're all killers.
You can't prove anything, Mr. Wadsworth.
I'm not Mr. Wadsworth. I'm Mr. Body.
So how can you be Mr. Body if Mr. Body's body bled all over me?
That wasn't Body's body that was bleeding.
But if he wasn't Mr. Body, then who was he?
He was Wadsworth, my butler.
But if you're the real Mr. Body, what was your purpose in dragging this all out?
Well, once you started murdering people, I decided to roll the dice. See if you'd self-implode. Kill off my entire network of spies and informers, which you all did splendidly, I might add, conveniently leaving your fingerprints on every glass, every doorknob, and every dead body. Now I've got you all on the hook for murder.
Murder?
But why this whole charade?
The madness of retracing our steps.
It's all part of the game.
Game?
Yeah, you see, I'm relaxed now. Now that you've destroyed the evidence against me, I've got off scot-free.
But the police will be here any minute. You'll never get away with this.
What's so funny?
Nobody's called the police, have they?
They were never on their way.
Now listen up, you reprobates. We're gonna stack the bodies in the cellar, lock the cellar door, leave this manor one at a time, and forget that any of this ever happened.
I can't forget all this.
With murder on the table, the price for blackmail just tripled.
Forgotten.
Now move.
Wait a minute, we can all rush him. He's got no more bullets left in that gun.
Oh, you don't think I'm gonna fall for that old trick?
It's not a trick. There was one shot at Mr. Body, 2 at the chandelier, 2 at the lounge door, and 1 for the singing telegram girl.
That's not 6.
1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1.
There was only one shot that hit the chandelier. That's 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1.
Even if you were right, that would be 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, not 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1.
Okay, fine. That's 1 plus 2. Just shut up. Point is, there's 1 bullet left in this gun, and whoever moves is gonna get it.
So you're just gonna keep blackmailing us and we're gonna pretend like none of this happened?
Of course. Why not?
I'll tell you why not. Larry Goodman, FBI. The jig is up.
Or is it?
Missed me.
You're FBI?
Apparently I'm a dead ringer for Green. He got a letter just like each of you, but he came to the Bureau to ask for help. I took his place here tonight so we could have a sting operation.
Some sting. 6 people died on your watch.
I usually work the desk. My beat is property crime, you know, theft, fraud. That's why I was so tickled when the real Wadsworth risked his life to drop off a whole briefcase of evidence last night.
You've had the evidence this whole time?
It's all right here. Miss Scarlett's books, including the names of customers and employees, justifying why she killed the cop, who's listed here on her payroll.
Give me that.
Ooh, what else? What else do we have? Ooh, and a love letter addressed to Professor Plum.
That's private property.
That singing telegram girl was the teenage daughter of the head of you-know-who woulda come clean to Daddy, who woulda cleaned out Professor Plum. So you killed her. Oh. And these negatives, Colonel, these negatives, Colonel, quite the regular at Miss Scarlett's establishment. Bet you couldn't be a colonel anymore if that motorist had informed your general where he drives you Tuesday nights.
Just wanted somebody to talk with.
Let's see. Shark's fin soup indeed, Mrs. Peacock. Too bad your old cook couldn't keep quiet. If she hadn't blabbed about your briberies, maybe you wouldn't have killed her. Just before joining us in the billiard room. Now we really know what took you so long.
Circumstantial evidence will never hold up in the court of law.
But this notarized record from the cook will. And Mrs. White, you really did hate Yvette.
Flames!
Okay, we get it. Here's a vial holding the fingerprints found at the scenes of your previous murders.
I never murdered my husband.
Fingerprints, I'm sure the FBI will be able to match around the ones tied around Yvette's neck.
I wore gloves.
You mean these gloves? Oh, and last but not least, Mr. Bobby Body.
It's Robert.
Now, you didn't hate Yvette. You didn't hate Yvette at all, did you?
What's it to you?
Illicit green card love affair is the icing on the cake of this FBI file. An FBI file on the whole Body family. Your butler, Wadsworth, has been feeding us information for months. Talk about a real American.
He was British.
You know what I mean. Look, I see why you'd want to kill him. Twice. Your shot missed him in the study, but he wisely played dead. It wasn't until you caught him trying to escape that you bludgeoned him to death with the lead pipe I dropped on my way to the kitchen.
I mean, really, who drops a murder weapon?
I didn't know it was... The point is, the Body family business has been wanted for organized crime for generations, but they've always eluded the law. Until now. Tonight, the Body family business has reached a dead end.
You leave my family out of this, you... Oh. Ow. 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 Oh. 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 Ow. Oh. Oh. Oh, Larry. Hold me, Larry Goodman. Larry Goodman. Larry. Oh, Goodman. Second wind! Good morning, Vietnam! If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked the cake. I baked the cake. Oh. 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 Oh, it's taken my soul. Good Lord. Lord have mercy.
Stand back. He's dead.
Come on, fly me to the moon and let me play. Oh, oh. And in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
I tell you, this was the most exciting night I've had in a long time. And now you're all under arrest. Officers! These are the criminals you've been looking for. You'll find the recordings of the confessions we've been looking for in the billiard room.
The tapes.
All right. Who done it? She did it!
They all did it. But if you really want to know who killed Mr. Body, it was me, Special Agent Larry Goodman, in the hall with my gun.
Well done, Goodman.
That's what he said.
And that's how it really... Sorry. All right, Chief, take him away. I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.